And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Good morning, folks. I'm Darren, and welcome to 8th Day Chronicles here at Cross Timbers Farm. Glad to have you with us on this gorgeous, gorgeous day. It's raking and baling day, and it's fuel time. And we're getting our tractor fueled up for the day, probably. Maybe this tank will last us the day. If not, we'll have to refuel. Goodness, diesel fuel right now, early June 2026 is outrageous high, over $5 a gallon. That's going to be a major factor for hay prices in 2026. This right here, man, it's costing so much more every year. And this year, every lap we make around the hay field, cutting, tedding, raking, baling, is just sucking this diesel fuel through these tractors. And because of that, hay prices are going to be increased, because this just gets passed on. The farmer has to pay those prices for the fuel, and that price just gets added to the hay, and it just passed on to the consumer. I mean, that's just the way it works. Thank you for being with us on this beautiful morning. It's early, and we still have dew on the grass and on our cut hay for right now. We got to wait till about midday for all this dew to burn off. The sun's out, and we are racing rain. We have been ever since we started. We knew our window was close, and we cut our test plot on Tuesday afternoon, and it's now Saturday. We cut our west field on Wednesday, and it's now Saturday. So we're going to be going out into both fields, doing twist tests to check them for moisture. Then if they twist test okay, we're going to rake them into windrows. You can see I've got my brand new Morra Rotary rake that we bought from Carver Equipment. It's all hooked up, ready to roll. All I got to do is let the guards down and start raking. And if the hay tests good enough to bale, we're going to the west field first, because that field is a lot thinner in hay. The hay's not near as thick. It should have cured out quicker, and there goes Lola. It should have cured out quicker than the test plot. So we're going to go there first. We're going to get out in the middle where the sun's been on it good. We're going to twist test it in a little bit once it gets dry, and see how it twist tests. Then we will test the test plot, twist test it. And if they test good, we're going to head to the field with our new Morra Rotary rake, get it into windrows, and prepare to start baling. Stay with us, it's going to be an exciting day. I'm back with you. I was out here early this morning gassing the tractor and all that kind of stuff, getting everything prepared. Today is hopefully raking and baling day. I'm in the test plot, and let's do a twist test. It's about 11 a.m. right now. And we've got sun, but we've also got some overcast conditions. It's going to be a mix of clouds and sun today. Kind of overcast, not just bluebird bright skies. So I hope the dew's burn off by now, and I think it has. So let's get up some of this test plot hay. I'm just randomly going to just step right over here and grab up some of it. Yeah, it feels dry. It's a little damp underneath from the dew. Got a handful of hay here. Let's give it the twist test. All right, we're going to bend it right in the middle. We're going to give it a good twist. Okay, it sprung out fairly good. Did it break? Not really. Well, it did some. I pulled it a little bit. Let's do one more place. Let's check another random place. We'll go right up here. Okay, I got a handful. All right, boy, don't that look good? The color palette on the camera just does not do justice to how nice and green this is. Okay, let's get this to fistful size here. About that. Okay, let's fold it in the middle. Give it a good twist. Okay, that sprung out a little better. Did it break? Some did, some didn't. Okay, that tells me that this is really close, and hopefully this sun stays out today. So if we're going to do any raking and baling in the test plot, we'll do it last after it's had more time out here in the sun today. So let's go to the west field and check it. We're in the west field now. I'm just randomly here where I'm standing. Going to gather up some hay. Okay. Gonna make sure we got about a fist-sized group. There we go. Okay. We'll bend it over. We're gonna twist it. Okay, that done better than the test plot. It mostly broke. Not totally. All right, let's try it again. Let's get another random spot here. Okay, get a handful. There we go. All right, I'm gonna bend it and twist. Okay. Didn't break that good. Maybe the dew's not off of it good enough yet. We're gonna go ahead probably, because this is so much thinner, go ahead and get the west field into a windrow. And I think that new rotary rake will fluff these windrows up really good to where we can get some airflow going through them and get it off the ground so much, get it up where wind will go through it a little better. I think that rotary rake's really gonna make fluffy, nice windrows. So we're gonna probably do that first. All right, let's go get the rotary rake ready and get back out here. we are done raking the west field. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm as happy as a kid with a pocket full of change in a candy store. Good grief, is that rotary rake worth every penny we paid for it. Morra RM 280 rotary rake from Carver Equipment. I could not be happier with how that thing performed. First time using it, and there's a learning curve with anything. I'll get better and better at using it. Compared to our wheel rake that we use now, let me say this. If you're on a budget, a wheel rake is a very, very viable option. They're very affordable, the most affordable hay rake you can buy. This piece of equipment is a lot more expensive. However, it rakes a lot more expensive better. Man, I'm telling you what, okay, if you use a mini round baler, you know what I'm talking about here. If you know, you know. When you rake your windrows with a wheel rake, you can only control how big they get by how much hay they are. If you try to rake it smaller and smaller, it just gets taller and falls over, and your windrow ends up being this big. Okay, your baler pickup is only this big. You go through that windrow picking up that hay, and it's leaving hay on each side. If you saw some of our videos from years past, you saw that. We have spent hours and gallons of diesel fuel when we're done with the main part of the baling, running back and forth through our fields picking up those strips of hay that the baler missed because the rake could not get them small enough. This rotary rake with that skirt, I got it adjusted to where I think would be perfect for our mini round baler, and it is phenomenal. We can make them wider if we wanted to, but I adjusted it to where I think a mini round baler, our baler, would work. And this thing made the fluffiest windrows I've ever saw in my life. You can probably see them. They are just stood up, so fluffy, it ain't funny. And even while it's in windrows, this is continuing to dry, air flowing through them. Really, really nice windrows. We should be able to come along with our baler and not have to come back and run back and forth through the field picking up strips our baler missed. This Morra Rotary rake that we bought from Kyle Smith at Carver Equipment is worth every single penny we paid for it. This thing is out of this world good. If a rotary rake, if a wheel rake is good, this thing's great. I'm telling you, and our fields have never been raked as clean as this thing did. Okay, now there's no rake on earth that's going to pick up every single blade of hay grass. There's just not. You look right here, there's a piece. Okay, however, our wheel rake never even came close to raking this field as clean as that has. And fluffing these windrows and making them the right size. If you're into making premium quality hay, if you've already got the hay in the ground, the grasses, and you want to up your game, go to a rotary rake. That's how impressed I am with that thing. I'm telling you, if you've never used a rotary rake, when you use one, or if you use one, go to a buddy that's got one, say, can I jump on your tractor when he's doing hay and let me rake a little bit of your hay? You will never go back. You'll start doing everything you can to buy a rotary rake. They're that good. This thing is fantastic. Okay, we are finished in the west field as far as raking our windrows, and our yield is down. Susan's behind the camera, and she's been out here with me in the hayfield, and she even commented as soon as I was done and she looked at the windrows. Oh. What'd you say?
It's way down.
Yes.
Yeah, like a third maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if you could hear her, but she said our windrows are way down. Our hay production is way down. She said maybe a third of what we normally get, and I'd say she's right. And there's nothing we can do about that. It's the drought. The damage was done before the rains ever started, so it is what it is. So we are getting ready to head to the test plot while we've got our rake hooked up. We're going to rake the test plot into windrows and then go to the barn, hook up our hay boss system on our Redlands 330 twine wrap baler, and we'll be back in the field. So let's head to the test plot and rake that. We made it to the test plot, and this hay's not quite as dried as the west field was, but let's just take a look. We done a twist test earlier. Let's try it again now that the sun's been out on it a little longer. I done pretty good. Hey, looky there. It broke. All right, we're gonna rake this into windrows. And I don't want to sound like a broken record. In fear of that, I'm going to anyway. This rotary hay rake is the bomb. I'm like a kid at Christmas with a new toy. Man, this thing is fantastic. Okay, we're gonna get started raking the test plot. We have our Redlands 330 twine wrap baler hooked up, and you can notice we have our Chinese gathering wheels, and we're going to see how these work. We used them just a little bit last year, not enough to really get a good grasp on them, and I may have to stop throughout the baling and adjust them a little bit to the ground. That's yet to be seen. Last year, what little bit I did use them, these tines kept wanting to turn. And I took every bit of strength I had to tighten the bolts down that hold those things in. And I could not get them no tighter. So if they turn, they turn. I may have to stop and adjust them a little bit. But the good thing is, that Morra Rotary rake, I think, made our windrows size appropriate. These things won't be that big of a deal. Although they are a big deal, I want some gathering wheels that really work, and it's yet to be seen with these. What little bit we used them last year, they worked okay, but the tines kept turning on them, and they would not tighten on down. They're Chinese made, so what do you expect? So we've got our hay boss system from Carver Equipment hooked to our tractor. We have our CTH model 125 cross timbers hitch from Carver Equipment hooked to the A-frame here at the back of the 3-point, and we have our wire and harness all hooked up. Everything's going. Now we are using jute twine on our baler. This cutting hay is for our own use. I do not like that jute twine. If I'm baling hay for someone else, or if I'm just out of twine and I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy the Titan 16,000 green sisal twine. Best twine on the market for these balers. However, the good Lord blessed us with a bunch of twine several years ago, different kinds. I've got a full roll of poly twine I need to use up, and I've got about a half a bale of this jute twine that I just need to use, not to be wasteful with what you've been blessed with. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to try to use it up on this first cutting, and when this runs out, when we cut the main hay field, I'll try to use, if we got some mist left, I'll use it. Then I'll put it on the poly twine and try it again to try to keep from wasting it, or find somebody to give it to. All right, we are ready to get started baling. Come with us, we're in the west field. And I can already tell you, and Susan can too, our yield's gonna be down. The drought it is what it is. But we're gonna gather what we got, we're gonna bale it, and get it in the barn for our sheep this coming winter. It'll be better than a snowball. So, and it's pretty good hay. It's got quite a bit of Timothy in it. So, Timothy, orchard, tall fescue, and some Kentucky bluegrass, and some red clover. It's a nice mixture. There's just not a lot of it because of the drought. All right, let's get started. Okay, per our usual routine, we always stop after we make 1 or 2 bales, check the moisture level, and we're also going to check the weight. We're going to check our moisture. Okay, right in the middle. .5. Let's check some outer edges, check it a bunch of different places. .7. .11.4. Okay, I think we're good. We're still gonna stop on the next couple of bales and check the moistures again and go from there. There's bale number 1 of 2026.
You wanna weigh it?
Oh yeah, let's weigh it. Susan reminded me. Let's weigh this bale. It feels a little heavier than, I'd say it's probably 40 pounds, which if it's 40 pounds, that will be perfect, in my opinion. Okay, our scale is zeroed. See how good that jute twine works? Crap. I mean, it's crap. All right, I put a strap around the bale. That's what we're going to have to do. This jute twine is so weak that you can't even pick the bale up by it. Okay, we're zeroed out. Oh, it's on kilograms. Hold on. There we go, wait. I'm shooting for 35 pounds. Let me zero it back out. All right, we're back on weight. Pounds instead of kilograms. Ha! Look at this, you ain't gonna believe this. I'm shooting for 35 pounds a bale. $34.98. I don't think you could get any closer to 35 pounds. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's hope they all come out that exact weight. All right, let's start back baling. We'll check the next bale. Okay, second bale made. Let's check the moisture in it. 10.3. $10.6. Let it settle. 10.8. All right, we are in good shape. All right, let's weigh it. I've done got a strap around it to be able to weigh it because that jute twine is so weak it won't even pick it up. You cannot pick the hay up with it. Okay, zeroed. That bale feels a little bit heavier. 37.1. Man, are we perfect. 37.1. Our weights are hitting right where we want them. All right, let's continue on. Adjust them just a little bit. I don't like the way they're doing. All they're doing basically is just jamming up. we're done baling, and I hope you enjoyed Pilot Susan on the drone today. She's getting good at flying that thing. But everything performed well today except one thing. These. You see, it's not on my baler anymore, the set. About halfway through baling, well, I don't think it's even halfway. About 1/3 of the way through baling the west field, took them off. Hay just kept, in really thick hay, hay just kept getting stuck in between like this. These tines, to the point that it would jam up so bad that it would almost jam up our baler. I mean, hay would just keep accumulating in these tines. And I adjusted them up, I adjusted them down, every way I know to adjust them, and they still kept causing problems. I had to get off the tractor multiple times to pull huge wads of hay that wouldn't move, and I thought, why ain't this wheel pushing it on in? It was all caught in these and would not push out and go on into the baler. So, Chinese gathering wheels. And I know people that's used these and had success. But my experience today was these things are about good for a boat anchor. I'm gonna work with them a little more and see if I can come up with somehow to make them work a little. So I don't know, but stay tuned. There's something in the works that's much, much better than this. And hopefully, maybe when we do our main field or later on for second cuts or whatever, we'll be able to feature those. The hay boss system from Carver Equipment with the drawbar, the CT H125 drawbar, and the hay boss connection here and everything, man, it ran perfectly. And I knew it would. We've used that drawbar system for a long, long time, and it works great, and I got a fly that's buzzing all around me. But the yields, as expected, before we even started in the west field, Susan said, I bet our yield is gonna be so low, we might get 1/3. She was right again. We got about 1/3 of what we would normally get for first cut off that field. For the drought, I mean, it is what it is. Now the test plot is, I've got a fly, it will not leave me alone. But the test plot was an exception. I showed you all that and the good undergrowth that come on here. And the test plot produced about normal. Maybe a little above normal. I think we ended up, well, I don't know exactly how many bales, but it done good. The test plot, very happy with it. And I will contribute that to this soil up here holds moisture a little better than the rest of our crop. It managed to go through the drought a little better. And the sheep done a phenomenal job on this. You wouldn't believe the regrowth, how good it's already coming back on under this hay than we bale it. Now you can see it. And our drum mower cut really good, man. There's hardly no missed hay. You look at the stubble now and it looks really good. Same thing in the west field, it looked really good. So we've done blew off our baler with the leaf blower, raised the door, turned the valve to keep the door held open, blew out from under there, got everything cleaned up real well. Really disappointed in those gathering wheels. They just continually jammed up with hay. Like here's the tines and hay getting stuck in there like that and wouldn't come out. It was just over and over and over. To the point after it happened about the 3rd time or 4th time, I just took a pair of pliers and pulled the cotter pins out and took them off. It runs better without them, with these, at least today, in steamy first cut hay. And maybe it was the steamy hay, I don't know. But the baler has no problem with the steamy hay, but the gathering wheels caused a problem today. And we'll see what happens with it later. I don't know. These things may not even get used anymore because we got something better coming. Okay, thanks for being with us today. We really appreciate it. It's been a fantastic day in the hay field. We got our first cut off the test plot in the west field done. We still have the main hay field to go, but we got rain coming. We beat the rain. That's what we've been at all week, was to beat this rain incoming for Monday. And today is Saturday. We made 4-day hay and it's done. So next week it's supposed to go into another rainy spell. Soon as that rainy spell is over and we get another window, we're gonna be cutting the main hay field for the first cut. Thank you for being with us. Come back with us with more of this. We got more cutting, tedding, raking, baling. Oh, before I forget, I've already said it, that new Morra rake is the bomb. I'm telling you, I am tickled pink with that rotary rake. Anything that didn't go right with it was user error, because it's a learning curve. First time I ever used a rotary rake, and figuring out how I was going to rake patterns and things of that nature with a new piece of equipment always changes a little bit. So that was new to me, but even then, how it raked our fields, how it done the windrows, good grief, that is a good piece of equipment. Very happy we bought that. No buyer's remorse for that thing. Thank you for being with us. I really appreciate it, and I pray God blesses you and your family. And we pray y'all have a fantastic day.